Good morning. I am Edward Fulyun, the Senior Minister of the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa. On Friday, September 18, 2020, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg died at age 87, and the United States of America said farewell to a national treasure. Justice Ginsburg was, and still is, a hero of historic stature, who was, among other things, and still is, the champion of women's rights, gender equality, and LGBTQI rights. She has been described as an unlikely pioneer, a diminutive and shy woman whose soft voice and large glasses hid an intellect and attitude that was tough as nails. Justice Ginsburg became the first Supreme Court justice to officiate a same-sex wedding. In August 2013, she performed the wedding ceremony of Kennedy Center President Michael Kaiser and economist John Roberts. She had, of course, prior to 2013, judged in favor of the rights of same-sex couples in the United States consistently. Justice Ginsburg became the second woman in history to be appointed to the United States' highest court, the Supreme Court. She was sworn into office in August of 1993. Justice Ginsburg said to an audience in North Carolina in 2019, "As bleak as things may seem, I have seen so many changes in my lifetime. And some significant changes that have been seen are thanks to her fearless advocacy for human rights and equality." Let us take a moment then of silence in honor of her legacy and to give thanks for her life.
Sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening up in sweet surrender to the luminous love light of the One. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am opening. I am
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa virtual service. I am Tara Steele, the Community Minister. If this is your first time with us, we are so glad you are here. You can find out more about our teaching, The Science of Mind, as well as our classes and other activities by going to our website, www.cslsr.org. I also appreciate those of you who have become regulars in this virtual format. With your presence, we create spiritual community. I want to thank everyone who has already filled out their 2021 Giving Intention form on our website. It's a very simple process, and the information assists the Board of Trustees in planning for the coming year. Just go to the website to find out more. We are inspired by a global vision of a world that works for everyone. Here is this month's excerpt of that vision. We envision a world in which we live and grow as one spiritual family that respects and honors the interconnectedness of all life. Our message today is brought to us by Dr. Kim Kaiser, a staff minister and director of the Center's education programs. I am delighted that Dr. Kim will share his wisdom and experience with us. His topic is how to tap into the Motherlode. I know that somewhere in the music, the prayer, the message is exactly what your heart seeks for the next step in your spiritual journey. I invite you to become fully present, breathing in, breathing out, opening to the good. Welcome.
And the strength of God, the strength of God in me. I rest in the goodness and the strength of God, the strength of God in me, in me. I rest in the goodness and the strength of God, the strength of God in me. I rest in the goodness and the strength of God, the strength of God in me.
The divine perfection is a tapestry of magnificence. It's a cosmology that blankets the entire universe and dwells within its creation. It is an energy created from love that created each of us. And within each of us is a cosmology and a divine perfection that is untouchable, that is never harmed, that is whole, complete, and perfect. And so I remember that for each of us this day, that we are all okay. We are beyond okay. And by virtue of this gathering today at the Center for Spiritual Living, Santa Rosa, virtually online, I remember for each of us that as something touches us today in the music, or the message, or this prayer, or the remembering of our community that's always connected no matter what, that as a little crack opens up in our consciousness, then there's more room for light and love and wholeness to be acknowledged, remembered, and felt. So from that place I can rest in gratitude where I belong, and then just release this prayer to the law which manifests it as our experience, and that's what I let be done. And so it is. Blessed. Hello, I'm Jennifer Mann, prayer practitioner emeritus at the center, and right now I'd like to read the affirmation for today from our Beyond 2020 Spiritual Vision. Mindfulness. I listen carefully. I slow down and witness the beauty of life. I see spirit in all I encounter. I am filled with vitality and insight as I open to life in this way. And so it is.
Who lets the bucket down and brings up a flowing prophet? Or like Moses goes for fire and finds what burns inside the sunrise? I hear someone say, who? Could be you. Yes, you could be who lets the bucket down. And Solomon cuts open a fish, and there's a gold ring. And Omar storms in to kill the prophet, and he leaves with blessings. Ooh. And an oyster swallows one drop. Now there's a pearl, and Jesus slips into a house to escape enemies. And he opens the door to another world. And still they say, who? Could be you. Yes, you could be who opens the door. Oh, but don't be satisfied with poems and stories of how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth so that people will understand. we have opened you. We have opened you. So let your bucket down. Open up your door. Feel the wings you've grown, and leave with blessings.
Good morning. When I first heard the title of the talk this morning, Tapping into the Motherlode, I thought of this song that Chris Ritchie just played for us, and that he adapted from a poem by Rumi, the Islamic mystic. The poem begins with these words: "Who lets the bucket down and brings up a flowing prophet?" This is a wonderful image of letting the bucket down into the well and bringing forth this divine being that lives within the prophet, who is in direct connection to God. And then Chris adds his own words. He says, "Who? Could it be you?" Rumi ends the poem this way: "But don't be satisfied with poems and stories of how things have gone with others. Unfold your own myth without complicated explanation, so everyone will understand the passage. We have opened you." This is a passage from the Quran, and it is a promise from God to his people. And it is the promise that there is so much more within that God brings forth from within you and me. But there's this struggle that we live with, this struggle that's typified in our monthly theme. I see clearly now, with more faith and less doubt. This struggle between faith and doubt has been at the core of being human forever. René Descartes, the philosopher whom many people know as the one who said, "I think, therefore I am," actually began to understand that by doubting everything. Doubt was the engine he used to move aside all different other considerations and get down to the essence of what he thought he was. And that thinking that he refers to is the thinking of doubt. In doing this, Descartes began something that we have followed ever since. He began to take us down the path of having doubt as our best companion. An American spiritual teacher, Ram Dass, once said, "The one thing that Americans fear the most is that they will be fooled." And so the American way is to doubt everything, to find anything that is said, to question its truth. And I think that's a good American trait. I think that indeed it is important to be able to question, and maybe we'll begin to talk about doubt as a form of questioning something that has been given to us, something that appears to be true, but may not be. But what happens is that we begin, when we trust doubt, to doubt ourselves. And there lies the problem. Mark Twain said, "It isn't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so." It seems to be true that we have ideas and opinions and beliefs that aren't in accord with reality, aren't actually the way things are. So we need to be able to look at what we think and believe, begin to question it. This whole process of the alternation of faith and doubt is exemplified in a science of mind teaching that has been called the Four Kingdoms. I prefer to call it the Four Realms because we could also call it the Four Queendoms. So let's call it the Four Realms. The first realm is the one in which life is happening to you. It's an experience of the world where no matter what you do, the world is going to do what it does, and it's going to do it to you, regardless of what you want to have happen. It really doesn't pay attention to who you are. It's the world in which the only thing that's inevitable is, as they say, death and taxes, where you have to struggle to maintain yourself, where it's all up to you, and you'll suffer if you don't do something about it. But at some point, doubt comes in. And the way we're using it, doubt as, I don't know this is true. Perhaps it comes from hearing a teaching like ours, just as you and I are hearing right now. A teaching that says, you know, what you experience as your world is actually determined by the way you look at it, by the way you think about it. The way you think about it forms the world that you see. You focus on various aspects of it because of what you think about it and ignore the rest. And as science says, 85% of what you see in the external world is actually done inside the brain. We aren't in direct contact with the external world like we think we are. We've been told we are, but it all has a lot to do with what we think we're seeing. So you begin to say, well, is it true? Is it true that death and taxes and struggle are all there is to my life? That's what the world is doing to me. That's what God is doing to me. That's what reality is doing to me. And I just have to suffer it. So hearing this teaching that you actually can look in a different way and the world reveals itself to you in a different way, you begin to do that. You have faith in that possibility. You begin to say, I'll just allow that it might be so. Notice I didn't say I absolutely believe it to be so. I just said, I allow that it might be so. I have the faith that it could be so. I don't know that yet, but I'm going to allow that it is so, and I'm going to act on it. At this point, you begin to work with a teaching like ours, and you do change your thinking. You do change your feelings, and you're no longer a victim of that world. You're no longer having the world happen to you. And so you begin to say, oh, this is no longer the way I need to be in the world, and you let go of victimhood. And as you learn more and more about the way you can interact with the world, you've entered into the second realm. And you actually do have an interactive experience with the world where actually you can change your thinking, change your beliefs, change your attitude, change your feeling. And you begin to see that the world shows up in a different way, and you show up in a different way. And that's an amazing experience, being in this second realm. But at a certain point, you begin to ask questions again. You begin to doubt something that you've been learning. And you've been learning that actually there's something more than what you've been calling for. You can tell already that what you've been calling for through prayer and treatment in our tradition, and there are other traditions that do other things to achieve the same ends. But you see that what you're bringing into your life isn't actually satisfying you. It isn't actually what you want. There's an interesting story about a group of scientists that illustrates this theme. It's a group of scientists, this is true, actually went to Congress somewhere in the 80s and said to them, you know, if you give us $50 million, a lot of money at that time, we'll be able to control the weather. Now, actually, we now know that you can't control the weather in any case, no matter how much you spend on it. But can you imagine what it would be like if you could control the weather? To begin with, can you imagine the lawsuits and disputes between people about, I want this kind of weather at that time, and I want this kind of weather at another time, and the way perhaps we might begin to treat the climate and make it our plaything so that we could have a luxurious, beautiful climate somewhere, and another place we'd be less attentive, we'd be less able to bring forth a beautiful world. And we would stop actually understanding what and how the world works. We'd begin to make it our own plaything. This is actually what we've begun to do with our forests. And we're seeing the consequences about and how, if we don't pay attention to how the forest lives, what it needs to thrive, then we end up in situations that are beyond our control. There's an old story of Native Americans. It may or may not be true, but they used to say, coming down from the mountain pastures, that the last one out of the valley would strike a fire and burn the valley so that the underbrush wouldn't build up. You can see that wanting to control everything puts us in the position of not knowing actually how to do it. Asking for our good, we don't know actually what gives us our good. It turns out that money and parking places and the rent and the world that we imagine should be doesn't actually give us what we want. So you begin to doubt that understanding that you can call your good in on your own. And you begin to have a new sense of that world that you've been working with. You begin to understand that there's what some people call a person there when they think of God, but that in fact, whatever the world is, whatever reality is, it's for you. It's not against you. Teachings like the science of mind are saying that this is a responsive universe and it will do everything it can to give you what you wish and to give it to you in a way which helps you. But you can override it by not knowing what you want. So you begin to have faith that the nature of reality itself is for you. It's actually wanting to help you. And that if you turn to it, then you'll find that you can get the things that actually change your experience in a way that's lasting, in a way that's satisfying. And not only for you, of course, but for the whole world. Albert Einstein, the amazing physicist who devised the theories that power our cell phones to this day. He was a superstar of his time, and anytime the press could get hold of him for comments on anything, they'd ask. And one group of people said, "What, if you could ask it, what question would you ask and get the answer of?" And Einstein thought and said, "Is the universe friendly?" I ask you, is your universe friendly? Is your universe for you, actively aiding you, actively cooperating with you, inspiring you? It is, and you can know that if you begin to allow that it just might so, to have the faith that it just might be so. And when you do, you begin to tell Spirit, the world, God, I'll start saying just Spirit. You begin to say to it, tell me what to do. Show me what to do. Give me the ability to do what is to be done. Because I know it will satisfy me and it will satisfy all of being. Because you are all of being, and you know what it is that is being called for. And you begin to experience how Spirit is working through you. And in order to do that, in order to enter into this third realm where it's Spirit telling you what to do, you have to give up control and let yourself act in accord with what you are realizing, with that stream of communication that goes on with that deep inner being, which is the divine itself, living in you. And then you begin to let the questioning, you begin to doubt, maybe that's not quite all there is. Because you've been hearing in science of mind, we say there's only one being. And you say, well, if there's only one being, then like our treatment, you say, well, I must be that. Whatever I am, if there's only one being, I must be that as well. And you begin to understand that what you've been calling Spirit or God or reality, the one that is actively responding to you, is actually living its life as you. This one right now is being each one of us, being each being that there is infinitely. It is all things infinitely. And wherever it is, all of it is. So you begin to act as that, and you understand that God, Spirit, is already acting as you. And you realize you can't stop God. You can't do something to stop it from being you, to stop it from successfully being you. You can just not notice it. You can turn your eyes away. You can not see what Spirit is doing in your life right now, always. And to do this, you have to doubt. You have to say, oh, maybe I'm not separate from creation. Maybe I'm united with that one always, and it lives its life as me. And you begin to have faith in that. The faith that says, this could be true. This will show itself to me to be true. The consequences of this are enormous. You realize that God is being you all the time, that you can't stop it. By definition, you can not be anything but. You stop claiming the power to stop God. That you make things happen by your own effort, not by any larger being, reality. It's just you as the ego. But the truth is, God is all there is to you. And you begin to trust what you are, not what you do. And this God as you, in order to do that, you need to give up the belief in separation. You surrender. You surrender your ideas of what is real and how things are, your ideas and opinions. And you begin to practice meditation in the way that Rumi suggests. Here's his simple meditation instructions. Close your eyes and surrender. And you begin to live by the faith that in fact God is being you, and that everything you need is here. And you begin to open your eyes to that. And you begin to practice this deep appreciation, this deep gratitude for being in a world always, no matter what you feel, no matter what you think, in a world that is always God, that in which you are always living the life of God. One suggestion for meditation like this, the meditation of surrender, is relax, be still, and pay attention. If you want to know what you believe, look at what you do. Are you living your life as God? Or are you living in these other realms as well? I think you'll find that most of us are living in all of them, depending on the topic, the subject, the experience. But we can all move to the fourth realm as you. I'll soon be teaching a class open at the top which is the one that teaches about how to ask the questions, how to usefully use doubt to free you, and how to use faith to move into where you want to be. Doubt moves you out of a realm. Faith moves you into a new one. So, please remember these 4 realms. They live in you now. You can let the bucket down, and you can find that deepest or highest realm in which God is living its life as you right now, always, no matter what you think, no matter what you feel. And you can turn and look again and again. Thank you. Please join me in prayer. There is only one life. There's only one being. There's only one actor. This we have called God, Spirit, or just reality itself. This one is living right here as each person here, because there's nothing else other than it. And so, no matter what people think about their lives, the truth is, the substance of their being is this same one. The mind with which you and I are now hearing this word is the one mind itself. And so I speak this word in that awareness, and I accept that right now each of us is receiving this word in exactly the way it needs to be heard, to allow that freedom that comes from having the ability to have faith in something beyond what we've known. And through doubt, we release old ideas and thoughts and allow Spirit itself to tell us what's here, what's going on, to reveal to us a new self and a new world. And I'm grateful for this awareness. And I simply release this word and allow it to manifest, done by that one who does everything as us. And so it is.
It's now time for our offering. It's when I get to thank you for the wonderful ways you support our center. In these unprecedented times, you have continued to gift your financial support, as well as notes of appreciation that we so cherish. Thank you, too, for helping us plan for the future by filling out your 2021 Giving Intention form online. You can find details on our website under the beautiful pink peonies. I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and think of one or more of the many reasons you're grateful for our center. Touch into the lovely flow of generosity that ripples out from the center into the world and then returns as blessings to us and our community. Yes. To acknowledge the flow of giving and receiving, let's say these words, repeating after me. I bless these gifts. I send them forth to heal and prosper. They do wonderful work in the world. And so it is. Thank you again for all that you do and all that you are.
I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. I'm reaching out to know the divine. I'm reaching out to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. I'm going deep to know the divine. I'm going deep to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. I'm rising up to know the divine. I'm rising up to feel the infinite. Yeah, forever is already mine. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul. I'm already there. I'm already home. I'm already safe in my eternal soul.
Hello, everyone. I'm Alan Yeager, your webmaster, here today with 5 quick tips in less than 3 minutes. First, our virtual social hall is this afternoon at 1 o'clock, where we gather together, then chat for a while in small groups, getting to know a few community members a bit better. Then we can watch everybody pop back up on the screen when the small groups close. Go to our website, cslsr.org, and click on the yellow Sunday Links section in the middle of the home page. Then click on Virtual Social Hall to get connected. Second tip, in that same Sunday Links section, you will see the clickable pathways to other places, such as After Service Prayer, where you will receive a free confidential 5-minute spiritual checkup with the practitioner. Another link in that section is to the Sunday Bulletin, which has information and links to everything happening at the center this week and beyond. Tip 3, Circles for Spiritual Connection. These are small groups that meet once a week to discuss ways to embody our teachings more fully. Registration is open now for a new series that begins next month. Details are in the Sunday Bulletin. Tip 4. Although some of our fall classes have started, there are 4 more still to come. Details on the website and in the bulletin. Finally, at tonight's 7 p.m. Sunday evening conversation, practitioner Megan Rooney's topic is Let Faith Be Our Guide. The link is on our website in the Sunday Links section. So those are today's 5 quick tips. 1, virtual social hall this afternoon at 1 o'clock. 2, Sunday links to after service prayer and the Sunday Bulletin. 3, circles for spiritual connection. 4, fall classes. And 5, Sunday evening conversation. Thanks to all of you for being part of our amazing spiritual community.
I'm continually amazed and touched by how people describe their experiences of serving on our center's board of trustees. They use words like cooperation, acceptance, benevolence, love, uplifted and enriched. I'll just say for me, it has far exceeded my expectations. My name is Nancy Reynolds. I'm the chair of this year's board nominating committee, and I would like to introduce you to 3 former trustees.
Hi, my name is Adrienne Bowes.
My name is Calvin Johnson.
Hello, my name is Effie Earhart, and I joined the board the many years ago that I did because I wanted to serve my community, the community that I feel so enriched by.
I wanted to give back to this center from which I have gained so much.
Because I wanted to have a better understanding of how the center was run, and I felt like I could contribute something to the center.
I thought, what a perfect way to return the favor of service and upliftment and genuine love and community. It's my way of giving back.
I learned some of the inner workings of the center, and I got a very clear picture of the fiscal responsibility and the accountability of the business side of the center, which literally keeps the doors open.
Something was answered in my heart. I've used that phrase, a spiritual home, in my mind before, but that's exactly what it feels like, to have been given so much just because I showed up.
And what I got from being on the board was a complete and total love for the way this center is run, for the expertise and the thought and the deliberation that goes into every decision that is made on behalf of everyone here at the center.
In that atmosphere of cooperation, acceptance, benevolence, love, and community, there's almost no room for antagonism. There's no room for anything but peace, because people stop and they actually try to embody all of the things that are taught in Science of Mind and actually to be what they want the world to be.
And personally, I gained so much from that experience. I gained a better sense of self, a better sense of how I can be of use in the community at large, in this community, and in my home.
Ah, the social hall. Oh, well, we missed that, but we can't meet you there this year. But we have set up a webpage so you can find out more about serving on the board. You'll find the link for that page right on the homepage of our website, cslsr.org, and we'll see you there.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, loved ones all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin